Avengers Endgame has become one of the most popular and influential films ever to be made, and rather than just sitting here and talking about it, I figured I'd ask a few friends. And also, I have blonde hair now. Yeah.
Hello everyone, how guys doing today? My name is Groseclose, and on this channel, wait, hold up. This isn't actually my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Aidan and David, for giving me this opportunity and platform to speak about Avengers Endgame, one of my new favorite films of all time. So if you guys have not already, make sure to subscribe to them both amazing creators, so subscribe to them. Let's get into Avengers Endgame.
Everything about Endgame is amazing. I love Endgame so much. It might be my favorite movie of all time. This movie is more than a movie in my opinion. It is an event. A concert is not a song, it's a concert. It's about its experience, and it's such an incredible experience, this movie.
Similar to Infinity War, my favorite part of Endgame is the fact that it featured so many different MCU characters, and it was really cool to see how all of those different characters interacted with each other, and to see how all of their storylines were intertwined and all led them to the same place.
I guess I'd have to say my favorite part of Avengers Endgame was all the character development in the film, especially within the main Avengers cast, but even more specifically, Tony Stark. I've always had a really deep connection with Tony Stark in the films, and I really love where they took this character. Like, I love it 3000.
My favorite thing about Endgame is the fact that Endgame exists. The fact that people can do this, a company can do this, and fans love it, is something incredible just by itself. My favorite moments of this movie is Captain America picking up Thor's hammer, Captain America saying Avengers Assemble, which was teased back in Age of Ultron.
The movie stood out in a lot of different ways, but to me one of the biggest ways that it stood out from any other Marvel movie to be made was of course the length of the movie. The movie ran over 3 hours, which is fairly long for a movie these days. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed the director's decision to make the movie that long. By making the movie that long, it gives the directors a lot more freedom to add in more storyline and plot development throughout the film. And if you were to ask me, I think they could have taken this even further and made the movie another hour long. And I know some people would say that that's too long for a movie, but when it comes down to movies like this that are taking place in an entirely different universe, I think that would warrant having a longer movie to kind of set the stage for the viewers. One part that I wish they covered more on, and I think a lot of people have said this, is the time traveling. Tony Stark just kind of thought of it in about 20 seconds, and he discovered the secret to time travel, so I think that could have been totally elaborated on, but maybe that's just me.
And this is sad, but it was done beautifully, and that's Iron Man's death.
I've never openly cried in a movie before, and this one, it pulled on my heartstrings, I'll say that much. To have the MCU start and end with Iron Man was extremely powerful, and I love that.
Iron Man's last words are the last words of the movie that started off the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. If that's not poetic, I don't know what is.
This film was literally a culmination of the entire MCU, and I loved every second of it. I know a lot of people had issues with the first act, but personally I really liked how they portrayed grief with like Thor's character and him gaining a lot of weight, him going to drinking. I loved how all these characters grew and evolved over that 5-year time jump, and yeah, I love this film. Even though it doesn't completely hold up to Infinity War, I love this film.
For me, it is not only my favorite MCU movie, but possibly my favorite movie ever made. It's tied with Empire Strikes Back. This is just my opinion, but everything about this movie is the best. The best characters, the best character development, the best moments. This was truly crafted, and it definitely played out well.
And then of course there was the rat that killed Thanos, so I mean kudos to that rat. Without him, literally the entire MCU would be gone, so yeah, that's an entirely different thing right there. Now that this first saga has ended, and I don't know what's next, and whatever Marvel has up their sleeves is going to be definitely worth the wait. I'm incredibly stoked for Spider-Man Far From Home.
This chapter is now closed. I cannot wait to see what Marvel is going to do next. I mean, they pulled off this amazing journey, so whatever they're going to do is going to be amazing.
As excited as I am for the future of Marvel, this is where Marvel movies turn really good or really bad. In the wake of these overpowered characters like Captain Marvel and even Black Panther per se, because Vibranium is kind of just a plot device to make anything happen, we need vulnerability in these characters and these films, because if these characters are one-dimensional, there's no way for someone like me to connect with these superheroes, and they're gonna become like DC movies, and I don't like DC movies. That would suck. So Marvel, keep doing your thing. Don't screw up. Avengers Endgame seriously felt like a finale for me, and in the least cynical way possible. I would have been perfectly fine if this was the last MCU film. But I know we have the possibility of Secret Wars and Galactus in the making, which is really, really exciting. But again, when and how does the MCU end? Like, there is no end to Marvel Comics, which I think is the one flaw of this franchise. But again, there's a lot coming, and genuinely I am very excited for it all, and I'm really stoked to see the possibility of maybe a Young Avengers.
I cannot wait for Spider-Man Far From Home this summer.
I love Spider-Man as a character, and since Spider-Man Homecoming, he has become one of my favorite MCU characters ever, and I'm super stoked for the movie. It looks great. I'm really, really pumped for that.
But honestly, if there's one thing I want them to do, is to not undo this. Iron Man is dead, Black Widow is dead, Captain America is now an old man. If there's one thing that I want Marvel to do, is not to change those three things. But to sum it all up, I think this was lightning in a bottle. This was 11 years and 22 films. Everything in this movie just feels so satisfying, so perfect, and it's the perfect way to end off this saga. Endgame will go down in movie history as it should.
Again, I freaking loved Avengers Endgame, and I'm so pumped for the future of the MCU. Aiden, once again, thank you so much for having me on your channel.
I have to say, Endgame was an incredibly amazing film, one of my favorite films for sure, and definitely my favorite superhero film I have ever watched. Those are my thoughts on Avengers Endgame. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and that would be cool to see what you think about the movie. Thanks to David and Paul for agreeing to be in this video. You guys should definitely go check out their channels. They are linked down below. They make some pretty awesome content, probably better than mine, so you know, check it out. That would be cool. Definitely support the community, because literally the whole young filmmaking and creator community would not be here without your support. So do that.